ancient letters that mention Jesus without worship or faith. When people talk about Jesus, they usually think of faith, belief, and worship. But long before Christianity became a religion, Jesus appeared in history in a very different way, through letters written by people who did not believe in him. These writers weren't disciples. They weren't Christians. They had no reason to promote his story. Yet they mentioned him anyway. Why these letters matter? Ancient letters were practical documents. They were written to report problems, explain events, or warn authorities. When Jesus appears in these texts, he is not praised. He is not worshipped. He is described as a real person connected to real places causing real consequences. That makes these letters historically valuable. One Roman governor wrote to the emperor about a strange problem. A growing group of people meeting before dawn, refusing to worship Roman gods and following the teachings of someone who had been executed. The name Jesus appears not as a savior, but as the reason for social disruption. To Rome, this wasn't religion. It was a public order issue. Jewish historical letters and records. Jewish historians also mention Jesus carefully. They described him as a teacher, a controversial figure, someone whose execution did not end his influence. There is no worship in their words, only distance. These writers did not agree with his message, but they could not deny his impact. Greek and Syrian writers later noticed something unusual. They wrote about a movement spreading without an army, followers willing to suffer punishment, loyalty to a crucified leader. These letters ask questions, not praises. Why would people follow an executed man? Why didn't the movement collapse? History, not faith, demanded an explanation. What's most striking is what these documents do not say. They never claim Jesus was imaginary. His execution never happened. His followers invented him later. Silence on these points speaks loudly. For ancient writers hostile or indifferent to Christianity, denial would have been easy, yet it never appears. These ancient letters don't ask us to believe. They simply record. They show that Jesus existed in history before churches, creeds, or scriptures were complete. And long before he was worshipped, he was noticed. That is why history still remembers his name.